I'm sick of this shit advice all over YouTube. This is 15 years of music know-how, condensed into as little time as possible, so get ready and learn how to sidechain the pro way. Let's have a look at sidechain using the Fruity Loops Compressor. Before we start, we need an oscilloscope on the master to see what's going on. First, take a listen at each of the one-shot sounds by itself. See, they both individually almost reach 0 dB. As soon as kick and bass play together, we run into headroom issues. By that I mean the simple fact that music is limited to 0 dB. So if we play both at the same time, we need to turn the full mix down. Another unpleasant effect is that it not only adds up, but it also cancels in other areas, which leads to this fluctuation in volume. Since we don't want this, we need to duck the bass behind the kick. We will do this by first creating a trigger out of our kick sample. The trigger needs to be as short as possible, so we reduce the start and the end of our sample, so that we end up with 1 or 2 cycles of sound. Next, we will do the following routing on our mixer. The kick goes to channel 1, the bass goes to channel 2, the trigger goes to channel 3, the processed bass goes to channel 4. Make sure that the bass is routed to channel 4 only. We make sure that the trigger is sidechained to channel 4 only. Next, we insert the Fruity limiter on channel 4 and select the trigger as sidechain source. Reduce the threshold to a minimum, increase knee and ratio to a maximum. This way, the compressor cuts all the sound if engaged. Reduce the attack and release to a minimum, so that we can focus on the sustain, sometimes called hold first. With a hold of, for example, 18 milliseconds, we will cut the bass where the kick is playing, but release it again as soon as the kick has finished. The attack determines the time it takes from maximum volume until the sidechain reduces it to a minimum. When soloing the bass, you will hear a clicking sound from the sudden volume change to 0. To get rid of this click, you simply turn up the attack to something like 2 to 6 milliseconds. The release, on the other hand, is important to not introduce unwanted distortion from the transition of kick to bass. Here, you want to select a timing that smooths out the curve seen on the oscilloscope.